Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to search the Cochrane database of systematic reviews. So this database is a good choice if you're looking specifically for systematic reviews. And if you're unsure, systematic reviews are an analysis of randomized control trials that were previously completed on a very specific topic, and the goal is to find trends in the data. And Cochrane reviews are a very specific type of systematic review because they meet a prescribed set of standards and they're completed by researchers supervised by the Cochrane editorial team. So Cochrane is a nonprofit. They're a global independent network of researchers and healthcare professionals, and their reviews and meta-analysis are considered highly authoritative due to their high standards and the peer review process. So they're a very valuable source of information for clinical questions. So the Cochrane database has over 9,000 reviews, and I'm going to show you how to get to this search page and how to run a search. So you can actually get there through a link in the Charles H. Trout Library website, which I'll link below. So here's the Charles H. Trout Library website. You're going to go to the A to Z database list, and then in that list you're going to navigate to C because Cochrane is under C. You don't need a username and password to access Cochrane. So here is the home page for the Cochrane database. And then they have news and highlighted resources on their home page. But first I'd like to draw your attention up to the top right corner. So up here there's a browse button, and this browse button has all of their reviews sorted by topic. So this might be enough for some people to navigate through to find a systematic review that matches their topic. So you can click on these topics and your page will refresh. And so then you can see how many reviews are on that topic, and if you scroll down on the left-hand side, there are more subtopics that you could use to drill down even further into your topic. So searching in Cochrane is a little bit different than searching in most search engines. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but it can pay off with some really great results. So to run a search, go to the top of your page, and you can type in your search terms in here in the search box. If you've used the topic browse search like I did before, you might have to change this section to title abstract keyword. But we're going to run a search for physiotherapy for stroke rehabilitation, and our page should refresh, and we've got, this is our typical result page, and you can see here you've got 19 results. And that's great. If you can do a search in Cochrane just by keyword, you can usually find a good, set of search results, but they may not be very precise. To get a precise search in Cochrane, it's best to use the MESH headings, the medical subject heading search. So I like to go to advanced search, and in here we're going to go to the medical terms, and we're going to look up our topic in the MESH heading. So let's look for physiotherapy. We're going to look up each term individually. So we've got physiotherapy techniques. Okay, and then we're going to look up. And the database, the closest match to what I had typed in was physical therapy modalities. So that's what physiotherapy is called in MESH headings. And so we can go here, and you have two options: explode all trees or single MESH term. And if you do explode all trees, what it will do is it will search for your physical therapy modalities and all of these other topics. So I like to hit single MESH term unexploded and add it to the search manager. So here's our search manager, and here's our first mesh heading, but we have to add in the stroke rehabilitation. So let's go back to medical terms and add in and look up our stroke rehabilitation topic, and we're going to look up, and stroke rehabilitation is a mesh term, and again I want just that single mesh term, and I'm going to add that to the search manager. So now we have two terms in our search manager, and then we're going to combine these terms into one search. So combining your search terms into one search, it's a little bit different than what you're probably used to. But what we're going to do is, in the line for our search number 3, we're going to tell the database to take search number 1 and search number 2, combine those terms, and give us results that have both of these terms used. So we're going to hit hashtag number 1 and use the word "and" to combine number 2. Okay, and then we'll hit continue. Now it didn't give us our search results right away, we can't see them, but if you click here where it gives you a preview of the number of results, it says 550, but don't panic. It's not 550 results of systematic reviews. We select that and we can see below that it's actually only 7 Cochrane reviews. That big number, 543, is actually the number of randomized control trials and clinical trials that were used to be compiled into these Cochrane reviews. So it's really only 7 results that you need to look through. So from here you're going to want to look through your results and decide whether or not these are relevant to your search. And to decide, you can click on each of these titles to get a better idea of what's involved. So within here you get a table of contents and you get an abstract, and these abstracts are written in plain language, which is very useful. Then you'll notice it says on some of them, unlock the full review. Now, unfortunately, Cochrane is not 100% full text. So if you come across something like this where it says you have to you need access to see the full review, you can use our interlibrary loan service. So if we go out of here for a second and go back to the Trout Library homepage, you can use our interlibrary loan service to request a copy of that review. So you go to request forms and then you go to interlibrary loan, and that will open up a form. Put in as much information about the review, where it was published, issue, volume, page numbers, etc. as you can, and your information, and we can get a copy of that review to you. Now, it could take a couple days, so my suggestion is, start your research early to give yourself some time in case you do need to use interlibrary loan. Okay, but some of the reviews are full text, and you can know the difference by just looking underneath each record. It says free access. So this one, we would be able to see the full text of this review, and there's a button right here to download the full text. There is also a cite button, and it does give you a citation, although it may not be in the style that you're using, so double check those. And then look through the table of contents, because this is a good way to navigate through these reviews. And two final things I'd like to point out. One is under the keywords, you can see which mesh terms were used to describe this review, and you can use those terms, jot them down, and then run more searches, and then in this way you can find reviews that are either similar to this one or expand your search results. So if you notice here, you could also have used the word stroke, and you could have possibly used the extremity, lower extremity, upper extremity, to describe this kind of review. And then finally, there is, many of these reviews have this related content button, and this is great because it will show you not only related reviews, but it will sometimes they have clinical practice guidelines, and these are, Cochrane makes sure that these are kept up to date. So these are great. Now, there may be an issue with getting access to these once you click through them, but again, you can use interlibrary loan if you want to. If you run into a paywall, we can get it for you. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. It's been long enough, but there are so many features of Cochrane that I didn't cover. But if you would like to explore this database further, there is a great library of help tutorials under the help section at the top of the page. And as always, if you have any questions, you need help with your research, please feel free to reach out to the library staff at the Harcum College Library.